Thank you, Father Borello, Father Becker, Reverend Fathers, any honored guests, and my dear brothers. My story starts on a hobby farm in Aiken, Minnesota, where I was born and raised with my siblings by two amazing parents. This is where the seed of faith was planted in me. We attended church every Sunday, no matter the circumstances, whether we were on the beaches of Mexico or snowed in at home. Somehow, we ended up in the fifth row on the right side, attending Sunday Mass. I loved altar serving, but not because it's what every holy young boy should do, but because it made Mass less boring. That all changed, though, when I turned 12 years old. I was fortunate enough to attend our diocesan summer camp. It was the first time I experienced people my age that were in love with the Lord. They were striving for holiness, striving for a relationship with God. Here I also met seminarians, young men on fire for the Lord, and there was something in them that I recognized that I wanted. This was all led by my priest hero, Father Mike Schmitz, who was the first priest to show me that I mattered, that what I did mattered, and that the Father loved me. It was those 3 years that I was able to attend camp that awakened that seed that my parents planted in me. I went back home, and though that seed was visible, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have the friends that made me dive deep into my faith. So it just kind of sat there. I remained a surface Catholic. I went to religious ed classes, answering questions, but not really thinking about the meaning. This all changed when I entered my freshman year of college at the University of Minnesota Duluth. I was fortunate enough to have regular spiritual direction with Father Mike. This is where I also started praying daily holy hours. And I also met a woman, a beautiful woman that made me think about my future and what I wanted to do. Made me think about where God was calling me. I was pretty sure at this moment that I was called to marriage, but I just wanted to make sure, so I brought it up in spiritual direction with Father Mike and asked him, why do these thoughts of seminary keep coming up? But I told him also, I'm just going to put that aside, and I'm going to go get married. And then he asked me one question in that spiritual direction. He said, is it fair to her? Is it fair to her that you're discerning seminary, but you're just going to put it off and go get married? This took me off my selfish high mountain that I was on and made me think, instead of, why God? Why call me to seminary even though you put this beautiful woman in my life? But instead ask God, what do you want with me, God? Where do you want me to go? It was after this spiritual direction that I filled out the application to seminary. I got accepted, and now I stand here, humbly before you, my brothers, in gratitude. I pray that, God willing, if one day I'm standing at this altar, that I will be his priest, that I'll be his shepherd to his flock, and that I'll do a better job than I did in high school when my lamb died in the passenger seat of my truck. Praise be Jesus Christ.